What's up, everybody? Yes, I keep stealing Stephen Wonderboy's intro until Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, great intro, until Stephen Wonderboy Thompson gets a title match. Stephen, don't fuck it up. All right, or until I have a better intro. Welcome to the MMA Monday here for the Funkit Pod, the only MMA podcast in the world that is not sponsored by Manscaped or Blue Chew. You're welcome for this. All right. So, again, as every week, you can't have a week without lots of MMA stuff going on, right? So let's jump right into the recapping part of the show, and let's start with the UFC, right? UFC Fight Night. What did we have? We had Jiri Prochazka, and I'm German. I know how to pronounce those names. Jiri Prochazka defeating Dominik, the Devastator Reyes. I'm German, I don't know how to say that. No, Dominik Reyes, obviously. Via second round knockout at 4:29. 30 seconds to go. Dominic, that was close. With an insane spinning back elbow. That was a cool, you've seen the highlights for sure. That was a cool, KO, of course. What is a bit lost when looking at the KO, because it was a devastating knockout of the Devastator by Jiri Prochazka. And what's a bit left out in the conversation is that Prohaska got hit quite a lot. Credits to him, right, for moving forward and putting it all out there and then connecting in such a manner. It was also kind of funny to see because he was moving forward, backing up Reyes against the fence, and then just throwing the normal forward, I think it was a right elbow, right, a forward elbow, but didn't land proper. Then he just he doesn't stop, he goes with the flow, moves while he does so, and you can even see him thinking. It took half a second or so, and Reyes just wasn't adjusting, wasn't moving his guard up for whatever reason. Maybe he didn't expect a spinning back elbow, so he goes like this, he passes Reyes, and then you can see him thinking well, why not just try? And then he just throws that back elbow that connects. Also, not that I would be a UFC fighter, but also one of my favorite moves to throw in any Muay Thai fight, just because apparently it's nothing people actually expect. When you miss them, they think, okay, now he missed me, now we can reset. I think lots of opponents don't expect that there's something else coming once you move past them. There's those backward, I think it's those backward motions, throws, kicks, punches, whatever, elbows are apparently a little bit surprising and nothing that maybe most fighters would expect to happen. Even though we've seen it happen, not a lot, but it's not an exception. It's not an exceptional move. It's very well landed, though, of course, very well executed, exceptionally well executed, and hit perfectly. And then Reyes was just flat out, of course. Yeshi Prohaska then, of course, he's even though he has this funky, should be on the podcast, right? Funky podcast, Yeshi. I know how to pronounce your name. Come on the podcast. Yeshi Prohaska, this funky thing, the hair. He even explained why he's got the hair now, right? He explained it. He said because it's based on Muay Thai, which I very much appreciate over here in Thailand. So it's based on Muay Thai, where you usually wear the mongkong, this head thingy. I don't know how to explain it. Watch a Muay Thai fight, you see they have a mongkon around their head usually. When they go to the ring, then they do the Y crew and they Y, and then they go to the corner, Y to their teacher, their crew, and then the crew takes the mongkong off, then has blesses them for the fight, and then you start. And he said this is mongkong inspired, which is kind of cool. So I like this one. What else? Oh yeah, so now of course Jan Blachowicz tweeted at Jiri Prochazka, said okay, Jiri, how about you, me in somewhere in over there, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, somewhere there. The katana versus the sword, the Polish prince versus the samurai or something, the Czech samurai or whatever Jiri Prochazka is. So this could be a cool fight. However, I agree with many YouTube keyboard warriors that said Prohaska gets hit quite a bit. So if Blachowicz connects as much as Reyes connected, then it might be a tough night for Prohaska. But Prohaska said it by himself. He's like, I got hit too much. I have to work on this. So he knows it. He saw it by himself. He realized it. So he's going to work on that. So that should make for a good fight, I believe. Given that Blachowicz comes or survives against Glover Teixeira, that is, of course, now everyone talk about Prohaska versus Blachowicz. No one, or everyone was forgetting about Glover Teixeira. I think they agreed on that fight already, didn't they? So next up, Glover, I think it's in September, isn't it? That's a long time to sit for Yeshi, though. I wouldn't mind seeing Prohaska fight one more time, maybe against Alexander Rakic, because Rakic is like also all confident, like, yeah, man, I'm the next in line. I got my brown belt for not doing any groundwork or whatever that was in his last fight, which was terrible, by the way. I mean, terribly boring, not a terrible fight. Well, yeah, interesting how Europe-centric it is right now, right? I mean, being from Europe, I'm all for it. That's my weight class, basically. I mean, my weight class to follow, being from Europe. So, got Prohaska from the Czech Republic, I believe, right? We have Jan Blachowicz from Poland. We have Alexander Rakic, hailing out of Austria. I think he's from, I'm sorry, Alexander Rakic sounds very Croatian, though. Somewhere there, I guess. Don't hate. I know he's hailing, or like from Austria, though, where I used to live, by the way. Just saying. So lots of European power there. I kind of like that. Nice, cool. Keep it up, European guys. Okay, so but that's about it for the main event. Cool finish. You've seen it everywhere. Everybody posted it. And yeah, I think any fight that Jiri Prochazka is going to be part of is going to be fun. Be that against Jan Blachowicz down the road, or be that now and maybe against Alexander Rakic. Or if they don't find anyone else, Anthony Smith, because Anthony Smith fights everybody. Going to be fun. A co-main event was Giga Chikadze versus Cub Swanson. And in the first round, TKO at 1 minute and 3 seconds. Yeah, Giga Kick, there you go. Now everyone stopped with the leg kicks. Now it's like, hey, I want to do the Giga Kick. So, leg kick, Giga Kick. So Giga Kick, the kick, what Giga Chikadze has been doing all his career was kicking people in the liver, right? So setting it up with like a high kick or a low kick, and then you're trying to either block it, I don't know, maybe parry, not really, you block it, or you try to move out of the way with a low kick. Try to... Yeah, maybe I want to check it now, but usually well, he comes from kickboxing, right? So if you're in a kickboxing stance, you either move your legs away for the low kick, or then you try to block the high kick somewhat. So he sets it up with like either low kick or high kick, and then he just goes right for the liver. Same thing here, hits Cub Swanson right in the liver. You can hear Cub Swanson going like, whoa! And then just crumbling, and then he follows up with a few punches to the ground, and then that's it. Can't say much. Well executed Giga Kick. Everyone's going to copy this now once the gyms are open again, at least here in Thailand. Everyone's going to copy the Giga Kick. And he called out Yair Rodriguez. Not called out, he said like, it would be a dope fight, me against Yair. That would be cool. And I agree. I mean, they're two like really good guys on the feet. That should be fun. Yeah, I also had to follow Giga Chikadze because his Instagram handle is @KnockoutCancer, and I can only support this, of course. Cancer sucks, so good on you, Giga Chikadze. I'm gonna follow you more now. That was good. It hurts for Cub Swanson. I mean, who doesn't like Cub Swanson? He's cool. He's well spoken. He went through a lot. He's an OG in the UFC. I hope he can come back soon. I mean, that kick sucked, but he's going to recover from a liver kick, and then hopefully didn't take that much damage with those strikes on the ground. And then I hope he can come back soon, because I really enjoyed Cub Swanson in the octagon. And ever since he had that war with the Korean Wonder Boy, that was, of course, amazing. All right, then we saw I was about to swear. We saw the interesting, that's what I meant to say, not interesting fighter that is Ion Kudelaba. The guy who was like, on the way in, it comes like Hulk or yells into people's faces. This time, he just grabbed Dustin Jacoby, grabbed him, pulled him close. It was just 1 week after we've seen this pushing incident, or was it 1 week? Yeah, what the fuck, man? Sorry, what can I say? Now YouTube is gonna like bury me in the algorithm. But what the hell, man? Ion Kudelaba. I mean, the fight was alright because they both went all out. It ended up in a split draw, and I have the scores. So let me check the scores: 29-28, 28-29, and 28-28. So it's a split draw. Yeah, no issues with that. They both went at it, full power, like for their weight class. Not bad. Yeah, they just went at it, like really mad at each other. Fun to watch, funnish to watch. I just not a big fan of Kudelaba right now with all his antics and never backing it up. At least it didn't get finished here, so respect. We also had Sean Strickland back in action, the trash talker who talks like all the freaking time versus, and I have to read it, Krzysztof Jotko. That sounds like also very Polish. Krzysztof Jotko. I think that's how you would say. UD for Strickland. Yeah, there was no question. He clearly outpointed Jotko there. Clearly dominated, no problem. Actually, the score was 30-27 twice and 29-28 once. So yeah, no problem here. Strickland now on a 4-5 fight winning streak or something like this. Let's amp up the competition a little bit. So let's see what he's got. I think Sam Alvey tweeted afterwards and saying he had like Strickland broke his jaw or something, and he thinks that Strickland is a future champ. So in 3 weight classes, so that's going to be interesting. Speaking of tweets, actually, no event without the Black Beast tweeting. Derek Lewis tweeted about the main event, Prohaska versus Reyes. He's like, man, and I paraphrase, but something along the lines. He was like, man, crazy what happening there in 205 man. Good luck, you guys down there. So it was fun. Derek Lewis always cool. And the last fight that I want to mention from this fight night card from the UFC was our Thai representative Loma Lukbumi defeated Sam Hughes via UD 29-28 3 times. Thailand in the house. Loma is doing well. She, for those who don't know Loma, she's a very famous Muay Thai fighter in Thailand. Started MMA training a few years back and has been with the UFC, I think, for like 2 years or so now. And slowly climbing up the fight cards, which is cool. So happy to see that our Thai rep is doing well there. Congratulations, Loma. Well done. Dimak, Loma. Dimak kun Loma. Cool. All right. There wasn't that much other stuff happening in the UFC in regards to news, because next week's card, more on this in a second, but the really big card is going to happen in 2 weeks, of course, the next pay-per-view, where we will crown a new champion. So this will be fun with Michael Chandler versus Charlie Olives, but this week, more on this in a second. What happened though was, of course, if there are UFC events happening, then you can bet on 2 things. 2 people tweeting, Conor McGregor, of course, but we ignore this now because it's boring, and Jon Jones, and he's getting to the Conor McGregor point. So I'm gonna censor Jon Jones soon. But he went back and forth with Francis Ngannou. And they just insult each other. Like Jon Jones was like, "Yeah, Francis, you got nothing from me. I've seen it all. Blah blah blah. Everyone is the next Jon Jones killer, and like I won against them all." Then Ngannou got back and it's like, "Yeah, but you're like a decision fighter. You're a boring fighter." Blah. Jones calls Ngannou a one-trick pony, and he's gonna break him. And Ngannou's like, you're gonna break me." So it's a childish back and forth. But okay, of course, both want to sell the fight and both want the fight to happen. Ngannou doesn't want to fight Derek Lewis, a guy that potentially can knock him out. He wants to fight Jon Jones because that's obviously the money fight. And I think Ngannou is less scared of Jon Jones's power than he is of Derek Lewis' power. It's like, if he can knock me out, I'm going to win. So, and I'm going to make more money. So understandable that Ngannou tries to get the Jon Jones fight, and they're just building it right now. But it's getting a bit annoying, to be honest. Okay, what else do we have? We also had, one on TNT, 4, and this time again no disqualifications. But a very sad thing, because we were supposed to see Sage Northcutt back in action, but he couldn't fight because apparently, and I had to do some digging there, because one championship didn't announce it. There, one championship. What's happening? Why are you so secretive? Apparently, Sage is suffering from a very bad case of COVID. His sister said that it's quite rough, and he's still recovering. He still struggles with it. But he did tweet out and said like, "Hey, Shinya Aoki, once I'm healthy, I'm coming for you." Shinya Aoki apparently replied with like, "A-hole" or some or "eat shit" or something like this. So that's definitely not Shinya Aoki. So I don't know who wrote this tweet on Twitter for him. But yeah, so Sage was out, and that's why we got Shinya Aoki versus Eduard Landslide Folayang, the former champion. But the Shinya Aoki made quick work of this. It's 4 minutes or so, like 1 minute to go in the first round. And it was all him. Like he pressured forward, pressured Folayang against the fence, then was like just raining like shots, and then when Folayang tried to counter something, Aoki was all over him, going for the shoot, like the takedown, push against the fence, then Folayang tried to push him away or something, then Aoki like jumped on him somehow. I think Folayang actually returned it, pushed him against the fence, and then from this position, Aoki jumped guard, but somehow ended up on the back of Folayang, then got the arm, and then that was it. So armbar reminds me of Chris Jericho, the 1004 list of 1004 holds. Armbar, so he won by armbar. Chris Jericho would be proud. So Shinya Aoki still winning on the way back to another lightweight title shot against Christian Lee. If Christian Lee keeps on winning, let's see where Sage Northcutt fits into all of that. Sage Northcutt versus Christian Lee could be fun though. Like two young chiseled guys. At least it sells. Christian Lee is going to kill him though. All right. We also had another lightweight fight. We had Okre Yoon versus Eddie Alvarez. So Eddie Alvarez got another shot here. And this time there was no question. But actually, lots of American viewers had questions. Okre Yoon defeated Eddie Alvarez via unanimous decision. And first 2 rounds did not look good for Eddie Alvarez. Like, not at all. Like, Okre Yoon, who seems to be like 7 meters taller than Eddie Alvarez. So I don't know what those weight classes are. One championship doesn't have weight cutting and whatnot. Eddie Alvarez is fighting giants over there. It's ridiculous. So Okre Yoon clearly way taller than Eddie Alvarez. And he just powered Eddie Alvarez in the beginning, outstruck him with the distance control, and then just range. He even took Eddie Alvarez, had him on the ground, took him down, and was just raining down ground and pound. I think the referee didn't stop it because there was almost so much controversy. Last time Eddie Alvarez got disqualified, so this time the ref was like, "Okay, Eddie, please get out of this." Like he gave him. Any other fighter would have been stopped, I think, in the ground and pound. Eddie recovered. That's what he does, and then it took over towards the end of the match, but it wasn't enough. Even though one championship doesn't just go round by round, but in its overall, still Okre Yoon won this fight. I had him also winning. Unfortunately, I was looking for something. For Eddie to do something that would land like some big shots, give him some extra big points so that he wins. But that was unfortunately Okre Yoon's fight to take. So I know what's next for Eddie. He's hating that move to one championship right now. And then we had the main event of the evening. We were supposed to see Aung Lan Sang, the Burmese Python, the former light heavyweight world champion, and also middleweight world champion. I think it's below light heavyweight, right? And in the middleweight, he lost to Rainier the Ritter in December or something via submission. And now his opponent dropped out. Aung La's opponent dropped out, and Rainier the Ritter took it on like a week's notice. Heavier weight class again for the title. And it was a freaking boring masterclass of takedowns. Rainier the Ritter just took Aung La down however he wanted, and then it was just all groundwork. So I say it's boring because I'm not a big grappling jiu-jitsu guy, obviously, but I can appreciate the game plan and the execution of the game plan, and it worked. And so why wouldn't you do it? I cannot appreciate that Aung La clearly didn't learn anything from the last encounter last year. Yes, it was on 1 week, so there's not much time to change the camp, but what the heck? Aung La, what the heck? I mean, the Ritter didn't even plan to fight, and now he's in there on 6 days' notice, and he gets a second title. And I don't like the Ritter style, but man, he's a problem. Like if he gets hold of you, you're drowning. Ongla is called the Burmese Python. The only one who strangled someone, he was Rainier the Ritter strangling Ongla for 5 rounds straight. So that was not a great performance by Aung La Sang, the second one in a row. Bit of a stinker from Aung La's side, to be honest. And it would have been really cool if he would have pulled it off, because I mean Myanmar, where Aung La Sang is from, really needs something to look forward to that gives them hope. There's so much shit going on right now in Myanmar with the coup and everything. So those people would have need something to make them cheer for something for a night. So it's really sad that Aung La couldn't pull it off. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying, man, Aung La, go back to your camp with Michael Chandler and maybe learn some wrestling or something. Because he's out of Stanford MMA, right? So he's got the right people there. So, dude, go practice with Chandler and get some wrestling takedown skills ready, because that didn't look good. Overall, we have one more fight that I want to talk about, because actually 2 more fights. It was Jackie Buntan again against Ekaterina Barbie Vandaryeva, and Ekaterina Vandaryeva was way taller than Jackie Buntan, but Jackie Buntan, right, was just moving forward. It was really, really cool to see. I like her style a lot. Maybe I start liking American Muay Thai now. No, I don't want to like American Muay Thai, but it was really nice, really active, aggressive, like lots of movement, like moving forward. It was really cool. So Jackie Buntan, nice. If you keep it up, you're going to have a new fan here. I like that. Majority decision victory, clearly. Well done, Jackie. We had a catchweight fight between Colby Northcutt and Sage's sister, and Courtney No Mercy Martin. In this case, Colby Northcutt, karate champion, just like Sage, of course, defeated Courtney No Mercy Martin via submission. And it was, let me check my list, an armbar. An armbar, round 1, I think 2 minutes something. Congratulations, Colby Northcutt. The fight until then, the first 2 minutes wasn't that exciting, but I mean it's only 2 minutes. She had her on the fence quite quick, and then just took her. Actually, then Courtney Martin went for the takedown, and Colby Northcutt just worked from the bottom and then got hold of her arm and then just rolled over, and that was the submission. So good job, Colby Northcutt. Stayed calm. Well done. Overall, it was a decent fight card, I believe. A bit disappointing with the 5 rounds of grappling insanity, but that's the game plan, so why not? Looking forward to the next one. Speaking of the next ones, quick preview of what's happening next week. So next week we will see on May 7th, I believe, we have Bellator returning with the opening round of the light heavyweight Grand Prix, where we see Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Yoel. No, Yoel Romero didn't pass his medical or something like this, so Yoel Romero is out. Didn't get off the juice quick enough. Allegedly, and I'm just joking. It's a comedy podcast. Joking, Yoel Romero, don't hit me. So now we have a late replacement. Bellator put out a statement saying like we hope to reschedule that fight as soon as possible and so on. Late replacement now, so it's Anthony Rumble Johnson, who looks like he's 700 years old, versus Jose Augusto Acevedo Barros. I love the name. Jose Augusto Acevedo Barros. I'm looking at the record right now. His record is 7-2-0. Sounds decent. He's from, guess where Jose Augusto Acevedo Barros is from? From Brazil. 6'3", a bit taller than Anthony Johnson. Well, should be interesting. I'm guessing that he steps up here. The pictures of Anthony Johnson right now, they didn't look like I have too much faith in him, but it's Rumble, so Rumble can rumble, right? So let's see how this is going to look like. We will also see Michael Venom Page back in action, or how Stephen Wonderboy Thompson likes to say, Michael Page Venom. That's how he referred to him during the Joe Rogan interview. Michael Venom Page with a record of 18-1. That one was nice, right? Douglas Lima, you're the man. Versus Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson is a black and white picture on the Bellator website. I am not familiar with him, to be honest, but his record is 17-3, so that sounds decent. Let's see what MVP does. Let's see if he keeps fighting canned, that's what the casuals like to call easy fights, or if it's actually a step up in competition. I still don't know what to think about Page. I mean, he has got some highlight knockouts, of course. He also got this one highlight loss, and this was against like the toughest competition, of course. So let's see, he's got some huge height advantage there, 6'3" versus 6'0". So let's see how this goes. Of course, it's always nice to see MVP lose, but if he puts on a good performance, then I'm all for it, of course. The main event is going to be Juan Archuleta versus Sergio Pettis. And the more I follow Sergio Pettis on Instagram, the more I root for Juan Archuleta. Archuleta with 25-2 the record, Pettis 20-5. I'm looking at the height right now. Archuleta 5'9", Pettis 5'6". I don't know. It's hard. That's hard to call. I mean, Pettis got the hype and of course the name value. Archuleta has been champ for a while. Always found a way to win. So I think Archuleta pulls it off again. Okay, then also one championship is not happening this week. It's happening next week again. So 12 days, 11 days or so from now. So we'll be back with a preview next week, a more detailed preview. There we will see the main event of Brandon the Truth Wearer, the Rock lookalike, versus Arjan Buller, heavyweight championship of the world. So we will watch this then. I will review this next week, and we will also review next week, of course, the upcoming UFC pay-per-view, UFC 262 with Michael Chandler versus Charlie Olives. And this week, on May 9, there's a UFC Fight Night schedule, and the main event is, according to UFC websites, TBD versus TBD. You'll see what's happening. I'm going there for TBD, obviously. I think it's going to be Fight of the Night also for TBD, performance bonus TBD. That's like a few days out and you don't have anything on the website yet, UFC. What's happening? If you need someone to take care of your website at UFC, here I am. Let me know. By the way, the website, besides that, terrible website, UFC. I hate your website. It's ridiculous. The load's super slow. The navigation sucks. Bellator too, so to be honest, like all those websites terrible. Anyways, TBD versus TBD. Let me know what you think about TBD versus TBD. Let me know your thoughts on the last fight night, on maybe even what are your thoughts about the Rumble comeback in Bellator. Until then, or shout out via social media, via comments, via email, funkitpod@gmail.com, or just in person if you're staying outside of the window, which would be a bit creepy. Until then, take care, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.